Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another video. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys to everyone that subscribed to my channel, those who have commented with positivity, those who have liked my videos. It definitely means a lot to me. And I definitely want to bring you videos that are objective and fair and honest. I don't want to be someone on YouTube that's just kind of telling you things just because I so happen to have the product that is just the most perfect product or that's the most perfect company. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this video. I definitely want to be very honest about my feelings, and I had some thoughts. As you know, if you watched some of my previous videos, I said that my wife was getting a Model Y. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But yeah, I just made it back from work in San Francisco, traveled back to LA. I didn't record that trip. I actually still got to post another video in regards to the trip, but I didn't record that one just because I've done that drive numerous times. So I didn't want to, kind of provide the same content. Nothing drastically has changed. And, I tend to stop at Kettleman Supercharger and some other places in Gilroy. So I'm pretty consistent on the stops that I tend to go because they just have great food and stuff at those stops and a lot of chargers. So I kind of stopped at the same spots. But anyway, I didn't record that because I figured, you guys have seen that anywhere. I already have some videos of that trip. I think I have maybe like 2 road trips doing the same thing, but maybe different stops. So check that out if you haven't, if you're new to my channel. But yeah, I wanted to give my thoughts because as I was up there working and stuff, I knew I wanted to make this video. I was going to do it up there, but I got extremely busy. So I wanted to kind of come back home, regroup, and I don't want this to go too long. I'm going to hopefully make this a really short video for you guys. But my wife just got a Model Y long range rear-wheel drive. Tesla just had a great deal on Model Ys last month, and we went to a car show, which I still may upload a little short of that, but we went to a car show. I had her kind of look at other cars like the Volvo EX30 that's coming out soon. They had BMWs, they had the Rivians and everything. I actually test drove a Rivian again, so that's probably like 3 times I've done that. I really like the Rivian, but that's another story. But we saw the Kia EV6, the EV9. I think the EV9 is a really nice car. EV6 is nice too, but the EV9 really looks sharp, like in person, like with that, especially with that blue color, looks awesome. Here you saw, the Ioniq 6, 5, etc. The Ioniq 5N was there, pretty cool. Price wise, a little too high for Ioniq, but it is a cool car. And we also saw the Rivian, what is that called? Not the R2, the R3. We saw the R3. That was cool to see in person. A lot of people were surrounding that. It's not really my thing, but really, good looking car. It looks like a Rivian. So, but anyway, let's go back to the story. Sorry, I'm kind of going on a tangent. But anyway, Model Y. So we recently picked up the Model Y, and I want to kind of, this is about my experience compared to me and my wife experience. So, when I got my car in 2018, Model 3 had just, in 2018, it really was a brand new car. It had just released, Tesla was really going through like production hell. They were almost at a point of bankruptcy, things of that nature. But the car was awesome. It was nothing like it at the time, like with that simplistic screen kind of dash, kind of jazz going on in the car, like no buttons, really very cool, nice car. When I got that car, I had the best treatment in the world for any car purchase. I will say I did have an Audi before. That was pretty good too. But when I got that Tesla, like it was the red carpet. Like I got in there, like when I was doing all the stuff online, it was easy to contact people. It was easy to talk to someone. I had a Tesla guide, well, they call it Rivian guides, but Tesla guide of some sort, the comparison to that. I had my own person that I could reach out to, text. They actually, I believe they were in Las Vegas at the time, but I could always call them up any time of the day if they were there. They would answer, or I could text them, they would get back to me. I was able to do that, and it's not like you can't do that now, but it's a little harder. And I kind of want to just give you what I went through first before I go to the next one. But yeah, so I was able to talk to someone, communicate if I had any issues. I really didn't. So I reached out about some of the loan documents and, what did I need? Because I actually went through an outside vendor for a loan, and I need to get the cash or the cashier's check and everything. I just wanted to make sure I had everything necessary to pick up the car. At the time, I actually lived in Oklahoma City, and I picked up the car in Missouri. So they didn't have any dealerships or service centers in Oklahoma at the time, and they weren't allowed to really sell in Oklahoma. So I had to go to Missouri to pick it up to drive it back. So I wanted to make sure before I took that flight to Missouri, that I was ready to go, because my plan was to take a one-way flight to Missouri, drive the car back after I pick it up. But, I did everything, got there with the cashier's check. It was literally like 3 cars lined up inside with bows, people next to them clapping and stuff. Like, it was so awesome to feel like you were part of something bigger. Like, it was like people were so passionate about getting that car out. And it's really like how they're doing now with the Cybertruck. The first initial Cybertrucks, and they're doing it still now, that they put them all in their own area. Maybe they do the light show with all of them going. You got people clapping when you go out of the dealership. Like, it was like you felt like you were something bigger when you get those cars. And when I got my Model 3 in 2018, it was just a wonderful experience. Tesla was still relatively new to selling cars. I mean, they had the Model S and X, but they were still, a small manufacturer. They were in a premium market. They weren't like selling like these more cheaper vehicles that were more mainstream. So, they were able to, really put forth effort to make sure anyone who's picking up them cars were like getting the greatest treatment ever. And, people that was picking up these cars, Model S, X, the initial 3s, a lot of people like were the car enthusiasts. They were tech people. Like, they really knew what they wanted. And I knew I had my Audi leased for 3 years. After the first year, I had already reserved a Model 3. I knew that was my car. I didn't need that treatment, but it was nice that I was able to obtain it. So fast forward to this time around, the process is a lot more automated. You don't really talk to anybody, to be honest. I put in my order for my wife for the Model Y. Everything was done on the app. I'm not going to say that is wrong. It was very easy. I understood it. I've had a Tesla for 6 years now. I know how to go around the app and what to do. They really lined up all the things that you needed, all the tools you needed to get things done and to pick up your car. It was, in that effort, as far as that goes, it was great. I think it was very automated. It was very clean. The process was very easy to understand. You just put in your order online, and then they give you the reservation number. You get the VIN. They let you know. They send you messages every time something happens like that. So if you got your VIN, they're like, okay, now you can go get your insurance. Sorry, it's a little that. You can go get your insurance, and make sure you do all these things, step 1 through 10, prior to delivery. So, are you leasing? Are you getting a loan? Are you getting a loan from an outside bank or whatever? Make sure you get all that stuff. Take a photo of your license. All that stuff, fine, easy. I think where, I have an issue, and we actually have one slight issue with the Model Y, so I do want to bring that up. The issue is that when they're trying to crank out these cars so quickly that we all know the quality of certain Teslas aren't the best. I think my Tesla, my Model 3, I got one of the unicorns. Like, that car, over 100,000 miles. I haven't had really any issues with that car. It's been a perfect car. I'm not lying about that. The car, I had a few issues, but over 100,000 miles, hardly no maintenance. I've driven so many road trips in that car. Charging has always been great. It still charges to the max charging rate. I like, that car is just a great car, which is why it's so hard for me to get rid of it, because it's just been a wonderful car. I've never had a car that just has worked so easily. Like, for me, like, it's just I got a flat tire. That wasn't the car fault. That was the tire fault. It was an issue at delivery. They fixed that pretty quickly with someone coming to my house for service. And then, other than that, it's been a great car. Other than that, just the little cosmetic things as it's getting older, I fix. It's just a really good car from a maintenance wise. But these days, Tesla is selling, they're selling the most EVs globally as far as fuel, full battery powered vehicles, not hybrids. I'm not counting those. But, they outsold BYD by, a margin last year in 2023. So they're cranking out Model 3s, Model Ys. S and Xs aren't really the big sellers like they, used to be in the past. They do, I'm sure they're making them some money, but they're not like really selling a lot of those. But the 300Y is their bulk. So when they're selling these cars, they're really trying to get them out, get them delivered. And you can kind of see that how they be having the end of the delivery pushes. and things like that, which is fine. We want them to sell cars, but my issue is we also want them to keep up with that quality and that experience. It's so automated these days that I think they're kind of leaning away from that, at least for the 3 and Y. I can't comment on the S or X because I haven't taken delivery of those cars. I would think since they're a little more premium, they would get a little bit more experience, but I have seen numerous videos of the Cybertruck, and that is the experience I had with my 3. When, you have all those people clapping and you have those people like, welcome to the Tesla family. It's really different these days. And it's not to say that it is bad. It's just because they're trying to crank out these cars and deliver these numbers, I think they're losing a grasp of what made Tesla great in the beginning and in the first place. Tesla's still a great company, but let me, discuss some of the things. So we got to the delivery center. Like I said, it was very automated. We went to a desk. We talked to a lady. She said, your car is getting prepped. Great. She was like, if you want to test drive an S or X, go and test drive. Perfectly fine. I went and test drove an S. Why not? Because I got to wait there anyway for the car. When it was ready, it sent me a message in the app saying your car is in the lot, ready to go. Awesome. Automated. Cool. I mean, me and a lot of other people were just walking outside. We saw cars lined up. Awesome experience. You had one kind of delivery specialist person kind of walking, helping people with questions. That was fine. But when you get to the car, you have a note that says, welcome to the Tesla family. That part is cool. I think my wife really liked it. I didn't get a lot of videos because it was kind of dark when we took delivery. So I apologize for that. It was like really dark outside. So it was hard for me to get some of this stuff, but, it was just a long day for us. But, I like the little paper saying welcome to the family, but it's also nice to hear someone say that when you're, leaving and people clapping. I think that's just something that you get from a lot of places, more so probably the premium places, but it's cool that they do that. That's the minimum I think they can do. And then the delivery specialist did say welcome. So, that's cool. But, so I'm not trying to say like, oh my God, I want the experience all the time. I'm just trying to show you the difference from what I experienced at the time for what she's experienced. And, the sign is cool. The one thing that I really had an issue with is that we found a scrub or a kind of a scratch on the car, on the bumper. And this is what I'm saying, like, as Tesla is delivering so many cars, I think the quality, and it's not like they've had the best quality in the first place, but these are things that I think they need to adjust and think about. Because when I got my car, it was all, mainly car enthusiasts, people with a tech background. They just really wanted to try something new, best EV company, best EV car on the market at the time. And like, we really wanted to try and do something and be a part of something bigger. And when I got my car, like, I looked around that car thing, the crap was perfect. It was, I mean, you could tell that they went around that car and made sure it was ready to go. Of course, panel gap, that's kind of a little unique, but as far as any scratches, anything like that, car was great, absolutely wonderful. I saw a scrub or scratch on the rear bumper. I'll try to put a picture for you to see, but it went through delivery prep and everything, and the delivery specialist didn't see that, and it kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. My wife, I was there, she knows that I've had a Tesla for this 6-7 years, and she knows that I really love the company. So, for her, she's kind of like, as long as it gets fixed, that's good. And I went and talked to them. It's like, make sure, and I told her ahead of time, I was like, make sure you look around the entire vehicle and you find, if you see anything, let them know so they can notate it. But that scratch was something that was so apparent. It was a white car. It was like a black scratch scrub on the back of the rear bumper. These are things that you shouldn't even have to deal with. Like, something so visible, even if it's not visible, like if it's an issue when they're going through delivery prep, washing that car, and they notate that should be already in the system. Like, it shouldn't even be something that I have to tell the delivery center about or the delivery specialist about. To be honest and frank, it should be fixed before I even come pick up the vehicle. I can't imagine Porsche or Mercedes, even Toyota or something, seeing a scrub or scratch on their car and they tell their person to come pick it up and fix it later. Like that, it just doesn't make sense. Just keep the car, fix it, and then deliver it when it's ready. Like that is the part that really kind of upsets me. And it's not a huge, big thing. It's not a huge scratch or anything like that, but it's like the fact that it's there. It's my wife's first Tesla, her first car that she's purchased in almost, 12 years. And the experience for her was still good, but it's like, I don't want her to see that. Like, this is her car. Like, I want it to be perfect for her. And you got that scratch and little stuff like that needs to be cleaned up. It's just that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And like I said, I want to be honest and frank about it. I love Tesla. I love my car. But those are things that shouldn't be the case. And if anyone from Tesla is watching this, that's something we've been talking about this for years. Like, it's always joking about quality control and stuff. And I know Tesla's improving, but those are things that probably happened during shipment. But while it's getting inspected, it should have been caught. And if it's caught during inspection, do not let a new customer come pick up that car and drive it off just to bring it back 5 days later to get fixed. I don't care if it's a Cybertruck, Model S, Model 3, Y, it's your product. And we are telling people to buy your product. My wife wouldn't have got a Tesla if I didn't have one, and I kind of tell her she should get one compared to other cars. I don't want her to see, and I don't want nobody who's picking up a new car to see an issue on that car and have to get it serviced and cleaned up. There's nothing wrong with the car right now as far as driving anything. It's actually driving really great. Everything else with the car is awesome. But I don't want the car. Like, I could have waited a week to have that fixed. So when she got there, it was just a perfect experience. Nothing to point out, nothing to say, I need to get this fixed. It's brand new, it's got dirt. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, that must have happened during ship. I don't care when it happened, but you should have caught it. And I shouldn't have to come pick up this car and now I have to take it back to get that cleaned up. I don't want to see that on my new car. That's just me. Now, I'm curious on your comments. That's just me, how I feel. And this video is probably getting a little longer, but that's just something I noticed and I got a little bit upset about. I've seen it all the time. It didn't happen with my car, but the fact that it happened with this car, it kind of annoyed me because my wife is not really a tech person. She's not really, this is all new to her. Like, and my mom had Mercedes and these other vehicles. And I know if I ever went to get a Mercedes S, this is why I'm really passionate about it. But if I pick up a Mercedes EQS or anything like that, or Porsche Taycan, I know it's not going to be a scratch on it. So it's just like, Tesla, please fix that. Like, I don't like seeing videos of people having to, they get their car, they walk around it, they find an issue, Tesla write it down and say, schedule a service appointment. The next service appointment will fix it. Fix it when you get the car. It's like, we, as a customer, we don't want to have to deal with that. No matter how much we love the company and what the mission is, we do not want to have to bring our car back when we just bought it. We want to drive it. We want to love that car. We don't want to look at an issue on that car that we just bought. We're showing family members of this car. Look at our new car. Oh, there's a scratch on it. Why is there a scratch on it? Oh, because Tesla did. Like, no one wants, when you get a new car, you drive it to a friend's house, you drive it to your parents, you want people to look around and be like, dang, that is a nice car. It's still a nice car, but no one wants to see any issues with it the first day. Like this. So please, coming from me, and I'm pretty positive about Tesla. I love my car. I will say that. I love Tesla as a company. They're not perfect. And this is one example of why it's not perfect. I'm going to still say I think it's still a good car, better car than most cars out here. But Tesla still has problems and they need to address them. So please, anyone watches this, please look into that. As a customer, I don't, as a 2 Tesla household, I don't want to pick up a new Tesla. I'm considering getting another Tesla. I have a Cybertruck on order. I'm considering getting a Model S. I don't know. But I'm like, I don't want to pick up a car that has an issue with it and then have to give up my new car for who knows how long for you to fix it. Like, fix it before I take delivery of it. So when I see it, everything is ready to go. It's perfect. I don't have to come back. Like, that's what I want. So sorry, this kind of went, I got a little I'm really passionate about it because, you know, I like the car. It's a great car. My wife likes the car, but I didn't want her to see that. Like, I didn't want her to have something where, I'm sorry, I got to take your car back to the shop and it's got to be there for a few days so you can drive the other car. Like, I didn't want her to go through that experience, and she has to. It's unfortunate. It wasn't big enough to deny the delivery. I mean, it looks like it's a great car, but it's annoying. I just want Tesla to address that, fix that, make sure that is not happening. Take it up the chain. And I would think Elon wouldn't even want to deliver cars that are broken, like are not broken, but have issues or defects on them to their customers, especially people these days, new people coming to the Tesla. People buying Teslas today are probably mostly new people. And this is their first time coming to this brand. This is the first time my wife has had a Tesla. So you want the experience to be positive for these people. These are not the people in 2012, 13, or even myself when the Model 3 first came out, where I'm like, oh, you know, it's a first generation vehicle like the Cybertruck. You know, there may be issues. I'm aware of that. But if it's an outside external defect like dirt or a scratch on the bumper, on the paint, we want to fix that. Why do I have to bring it back? So that's the big thing. That was the big thing. And then, you know, other than that, you know, you just pick up the car and a lot, you know, they give you videos of tutorials of things to watch. I like that option. I think it should be an option. They give you in the app, when you're prior to delivery, you can watch videos of how to operate the app. What are some of the main features of the vehicle? That's good for people that like to watch videos. But for older people, my wife is not tech savvy. If I didn't have a Tesla, you know, you want to have someone to kind of sit in that car. And that was another thing for me. When I first got my Model 3, someone sat in the passenger seat of the car and showed me everything about this technology. And at that time, the car didn't even do everything it does these days. There's way more features in that car today than it was in 2018. So my wife has to watch these videos if she chooses to, and there wasn't no one to like sit in the car with her to kind of go through. I did it, you know, and I was like, that's fine. I have a Tesla. I know everything. But it's like, I wish she had the option to grab someone, the delivery specialist, and be like, can you like go through this with me? Like, how do I do this and this? And have someone go in and kind of show her how to put the car in drive. Charging stations. It was no really explanation on charging. I think there may be a tutorial video, but these are the things that we're running into, or Hertz and all these other people or rental car places that are giving away cars like this, is that Tesla has a video on how to find chargers, superchargers. But what about, you know, what about ChargePoint? What about some of the other chargers out there? You get the adapter, the J1, you know, J1 adapter in the car, but no one said what this adapter is for. Is it for the supercharger? I know what it's for because I have a Tesla. But for my wife, she's like, what is this? I have to tell her that, but that's what somebody should explain. Like, I know it's out there to look up, but I'm like, you want someone to be like, it's in the car, it's a physical item. What is this for? What, you know, is this for supercharger? Like, what is this for? I'm sure they would answer that, but my wife doesn't know to answer that question. So I'm like, well, I'll tell her, I know it. But I'm like, it would have been nice if we had our own person and kind of like show us the reins, or show her the reins, so she has that experience I had. That's what I didn't want to be, that person to kind of show her everything. I wanted her to have the experience, her to ask questions that she really felt were important. And then I can help when we get home to kind of go more in detail and depth. So she didn't have that person, and the delivery special was awesome, but you know, she even specified that there were, you know, they had those layoffs and people got fired and stuff. They didn't have a lot of people. Understandable. That's, you know, that sucks, but that has nothing to do with my car having a scratch on it. I still don't agree with that. Now, to sit with everyone getting deliveries, you got 10 deliveries happening at once. You don't have enough people to do that. That's fine. I understand that wholeheartedly. And she even said if we wanted to drive back to the dealership to do that later on, that's fine. No one's trying to drive back to the dealership. I mean, it's just how it is. But I don't know. When I got my car, it was plenty of people to do that, and they had a person for each delivered car sitting in the cars with the new person and the new owner and going through all those details. So that's what was missing, and so like my wife's probably never going to use the J1 adapter. She doesn't. I mean, I'm going to try to explain it, but it's like, I think Tesla can do better at just explaining things, and it's better to do it in person as opposed to just having them watch tutorial videos. I think it's good once they leave the dealership that they have access to the tutorial videos. But when you're at the dealership, it should be someone right there. Like, what questions do you have? How do you charge? Like, why do you charge? You know, is it charge 100%? Like, we need those details. And people these days that are not familiar with EVs and that are fresh to this really need those details. So that's what I think, you know, improvement. These are my two things going forward. I think Tesla is a great company, but deliveries, I don't care if you're trying to deliver 1,000 cars, whatever. If there's defects on a car that you see before that owner gets there, fix the car and just say, you know, be honest. Like there was some dirt or something, or, you know, something happened during manufacturing, you know, during shipment, we're going to fix it up, you know, and so your vehicle is delayed a few days. I know some owners probably don't want to hear that, but just say, you know, we got a lot of, you know, debris and stuff on the cars, you know, we're trying to fix it up for you, and just be honest about it. You know, I don't want to see the dirt and I don't want to see it on my car. I just want my car to be perfect when I get it. If it requires you to put a new bumper on it or whatever, as long as it's fresh, I just want it clean and I want it in good, you know, operational ability. So yeah, defects, please fix them. If you see them, fix them, especially if they're visible. New owners don't want to see it. We don't want to see any defects inside the car or outside the car. If you've noticed it while you're going to do delivery prep, then cancel the delivery for that day, push it to another day or whatever. It's unfortunate, you know, people want their cars, but just like the Cybertruck has had some issues and recalls and stuff recently where people have to postpone the car, they're still going to get the car, but just postpone it. Like, we don't want to get it just to bring it back. Like, it's a waste of time. For me, personally, it's a waste of time. If I got to bring it back anyway, after I buy it, I'd rather you just keep it now. And then I don't have to bring it back. I could just, when I get it, it's mine. I don't have to take it back. It shouldn't be no issues. So that's one thing. Please fix the defects before delivery, please. Especially if you see them. Now, if you don't see them, that's different. But if you see them and they're external defects, like, you know, scratches and things, please fix them. That's number one. Number two, for new owners, new to the Tesla family that are not familiar with this technology, especially older folks and stuff, please have someone that can like go through it. I don't, you know, if they're hopping from car to car, that's fine, but just have someone available that can answer those questions. Like, so it's not just one person helping like 20 people at once where they just don't have the time. Like, hire people for the sales team or delivery team and make the delivery experience, really bring it back to being more personal for those people, because these people are new to Tesla. A lot of them that are buying these cars are brand new. Tesla doesn't represent that. They represent almost 50% EV market share, but the EV market share in this country, or at least in the United States, is roughly like 6%. It's not, don't quote me on that. I don't remember the exact amount, but it's not substantial. It's a lot more gas powered cars out here in operation. So it's, you know, these people there's still so many people that have never driven an EV that are just coming to. Even the car show I went to, people have never driven a Tesla, but they're test driving a Rivian. Like, it's just, people are new to this stuff, new to this technology. I still don't think any other company is really tech savvy like Tesla is, as far other than like Rivian and stuff. But those are EVs. If you've never driven an EV, you're probably stuck on some old software and some old cars that just aren't up to standards. Like, so yeah, it's some good ones like CarPlay is whatever. It's kind of universal, but yeah, I don't want to keep rambling, but that's my thing. That was my experience. You know, if I have some photos, I'll put those up there, but I love Tesla. I do. I just, you know, these are opportunities for improvement, and I want to be frank. I don't want to be someone that just has a channel that's always positive about the cars that I have and all this stuff. Like, if I see something wrong, I'm going to vocalize it, and I want you guys to hear it, so you could guys make a good decision. Like, I hope that anyone has used my previous referral code, you enjoy your cars. Like, I think everyone that I've reached out, they've seemed like they love their cars, and that's awesome. I love my car. And I hope your delivery experience was really well done, and it was great to pick up your car and you just enjoyed having a new car that was just new tech and just fun. Like, they're fun cars to have. But I do want to point out things that can be improved with the company, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement there. Not that I don't love the car, but I want to be honest. And for those that think I'm just being fake, this is not fake. This is what I mean when I really want to be genuine, and when I'm talking about a topic. This is a genuine topic, and this is my experience. So, and this is how I feel. My wife is actually pretty chill, but I wanted her to have a perfect car when she got it. Nothing's perfect, but it was so visible that it should have been fixed. That is my issue. And I wanted her to have that delivery experience I had, where I had someone in the car to kind of show me the ropes. Luckily, I was there that I can show her the ropes, but what if I wasn't there and she went to get the car herself and I was up north in San Francisco or somewhere at work and I didn't happen to be here? Then she wouldn't have had that one-on-one communication with anyone. I was going through the app to kind of finalize everything, make the final payments and stuff. Like, it's some people are just not tech savvy and they need that extra guidance and assistance. And that's what I wanted for her. So those are opportunities for Tesla Improve. And, I hope you guys look into it. If you guys watch these videos, those are my experience, and that's how I feel. So and if I feel this way, I'm sure other people felt this way when they picked up their cars. Just like, what's the name, LMK, that had the messed up Cybertruck and finally got the new one. Some things happen, but Tesla, definitely, if you can, try to prevent some of these things and prevent some of these griefs from people from occurring. We love our cars, we want to take delivery, but we don't want to see issues with our cars and then have to bring them back. Like, we don't want that experience, because we wouldn't have that experience really anywhere else like that. So we expect, and I'm saying this because I want Tesla to be I want it to be a high standard. I don't want it to be like a great looking car, great tech, best tech probably in the industry, but then that not as good here. Like, I need everything to be good. And I know Elon and everybody at Tesla want it to be good. They want to be 100% customer service, the best customer service in the world. They want to have the best tech cars, make the best cars. So we are trying to help you achieve that. So when we give our experience, please take it on with you. Think about it, figure out ways that you can improve it. But I don't want to keep going. That's all I have. Again, if you guys made it this far, I know this is something different. I just wanted to kind of sit and get my thoughts out there. This is just how I felt, but I appreciate it. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope you're enjoying your cars. Like I said, I'm enjoying the car. Just little issues there, but I'm going to probably go take a bike ride. But thank you guys for watching my videos, and thank you for liking. If you have comments, please leave them. I try to respond to as many comments as possible. Sometimes I can't get too many, but I really try my best to go through all the comments. So let me know what you think. But yeah, till next time, enjoy yourself, enjoy your Teslas, enjoy your cars, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.